Sound Oasis. This is a play shop or workshop that Immersive Sound Experience is a group of community that is conducting for 3 days. Today was day 2. Yesterday was day 1. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing about my experience for the last 2 days that I have been a part of this very play shop. It's been a few months that I have been looking for ways that I can involve myself with music. Yeah, I don't know if I shared on this platform if I own a guitar. Well, I don't have it right now with me. I have given it to one of my friends. He's taking care of the guitar when I'm not using it. So I have been trying to figure out how, when, why, some more motivation that I have been looking for to start my journey in music, in guitar once again. So I enrolled for this Sound Oasis play shop, as they call it, and the day 1 was we learned about Nada Yoga by Swapnil. That was yesterday. And then we also had a sound bath. Well, this is not the first time that I'm doing sound bath. I have done it a couple of times. That was way back. I think it goes a year or earlier back. This is the first time that Swapnil was starting it. He had just said, why don't you just come in, and yesterday was such a deep experience because my body relaxed and rejuvenated at the same time within the span of just 45 to 50 to 1 hour, 45 50 minutes or 1 hour. And I felt so much more refreshed after the session was over that I today's expectations just went a pitch high, a notch above. And when they had told that we have to reach today around 9:30, I wanted to leave at 8:45, 9 sharp, but I couldn't make it. So I left around 9:15, 9:20, 9:20, 25 something, and I just texted them that I'll be late, and I just made it in time. You know, today was the second day, and we did, I think, 4 sessions, different sessions. The first session was with Megu, learning the rhythm of life, of music. How does rhythm being created, and how is rhythm different than the patterns? So just learning more about geometry and how sound is being made, how different sounds can make a rhythm, and that's what we can use with different instruments. The second session was with Sarah. She took us deep within the silence. Well, there was so much energy that was being transferred amongst all the participants who were there for the session, and it was such a wonderful experience to just vibrate and transfer energy to each other through the day, especially through this session that I have never experienced or been such vulnerable in such a short span of time. The third session, that was after lunch, I thought it'll be like a dull session, but Madhur, the name suggests melody. So he did a super wonderful session where he explained us about what is the math or what is the frequency behind each sound. Like, this is one frequency, this can be another frequency, and when I do like this is another frequency. So how our ears are capable of hearing from 20 to 30 or 40 hertz, 60 hertz, maybe 100 hertz to around 17, 18,000 hertz, and how each instrument has a different frequency, and which we in layman's language call as bass, treble, and mids, and things like that. So with different instruments, he showed us, how each instrument sounds, what is the bass one, and how does it go to treble, and how the frequencies go higher. And it was such a wonderful experience after knowing how rhythm is formed in the first session and experiencing silence with Sarah in the second session. This third session was really so much more knowledge and experience about how the instruments are. Well, towards the end of the session, we also closed with a nice jamming. We were given different instruments, and then Madhur was the orchestra leader, and he was telling us which instruments to be played when, and how the difference was being created in the melody when some instruments were closed and some instruments were still playing, and when the pitch went down and up and all of those things. It was just so wonderful. It was, the whole thing sounded as if we have been practicing for so many years, but in fact we were just there for a couple of hours. So that is the third session, and the fourth, last but not least, the session that we had was with Nikhil and Megha, if I remember her name correctly. They taught us how we can flow with the music, how our body can just relax with no mind being applied and just moving to the tunes of the body. Also, we played a game which was a very interesting one. This is, I think, the first time that I have seen that we were passing invisible balls, and it was not necessarily the ball size was this much, this much, this much, or this much. But when we received the ball, so the game went like somebody passed the ball to you, not necessarily you have to receive the same size. It can be a small size, it can be a big size, it can be whichever size. You can act and you can pass the imaginary ball. So the other person can receive it and then keep on passing. And it just made my senses so sharp and alert that I was just looking around about this invisible ball, who is catching, what is the size, and how the reactions, and so wonderfully everybody experienced it, being more aware, alert, and joyful at the same time. And then we closed that session with a few dance moves, and there was also some drawing that Nikhil asked us to draw. He was in the keyboard and we were drawing, and that's how the session ended. And we had a bonus because today we students of the play shop or workshop got an opportunity to do a sound bath for others, and I was so lucky that I could be a performer today in whatever little extent. Swapnil was guiding us all throughout, and yeah, it was so wonderful to be on the other side because yesterday I was a participant in the sound bath, and my experience was so reviving and energizing. Today, being on this side of the sound bath that we offered today to all the participants was so much different. I could see how coordination and things go about, and it was so wonderful to be a part of this. So that's how the 2 days experience was for me. Really looking forward for the third day, that is tomorrow, and I will share my experience tomorrow after the session is over. Thank you so much for watching till the end. Please let me know if you play any musical instruments. in the comments down below. I would be more than happy to know my community members, whoever is watching this plays music. Thank you so much. Namaskar.